Jase Febres, 2 games back after missing about a year because of a serious knee injury, and he is our special guest on Game Plan with Shaka Smart. Jase, first off, what made that comeback trail, that path of recovery, so difficult for you?
I mean, on top of everything with COVID, just it's just been a big mental battle more than anything. Not being able to kind of take basketball as like, that's kind of like our getaway, our heaven, our free time, kind of just to be with ourselves and whatnot. And for me, not being able to actually play that game competitively, 5-on-5 for almost an entire year, that's probably made it the hardest. And then just everything else going on around the world doesn't help too.
So what kept you going through these difficult times?
Honestly, just the help of my teammates, my coaches, and the most important thing this whole year has kind of been I've been kind of tapping into the spiritual side of things, as far as like just being present, being in the moment, being aware of just how I'm feeling and how my body's feeling. Those kind of practices and time to kind of sit with myself and see how I'm feeling kind of allowed me to see how my mind kind of thinks throughout the day. Like, am I really feeling this way because, I'm sad I can't play, or, there's a little voice in my head just trying to trick me and make me feel worse than I'm really feeling. And I feel like that's a battle that everybody has, if you notice it or not. But the more you notice it, the more you try to kind of, push it to the side. And that's when the real work starts. So I feel like kind of battling with myself and sticking with myself and not letting that little voice in my head, kind of push me under the rug was a really big challenge, but that really helped me throughout everything.
Yeah, we just talked to Shaka about it. He said the way he described it was worked on raising your consciousness. So when
Yeah.
when a coach approaches you about that, right? I would imagine being a young guy, being an athlete, you're wired to think of, okay, what can I do to get stronger? What can I do to get my shot better, to work on that first step? And then he approaches you to talk about consciousness. What's your
Yeah.
reaction to that initially?
Initially, I mean, Shaka and I have such a good relationship. We're kind of able to discuss things that a lot of players and their coaches don't necessarily discuss with each other. But what was kind of, an easier thing for me to do with this whole consciousness aspect was that I had no physical ability. Like, I couldn't necessarily go to the gym and get stronger or work out or, do things because of my knee. So I decided that, what, if I can strengthen anything, it's going to be my mind. And man, that's the hardest thing to strengthen. I tell you, that doesn't compare to try to strengthen my knee. Like, getting my knee back healthy has been a lot easier compared to trying to fix everything that's been going on up here.
Wow. What do you think that helps you do as a player now that you have tried to raise your consciousness?
I mean, it really like hones you in and allows you just to lock in on what's most important in that present moment. A lot of times, especially being a shooter, your mind can make or break you that day. You miss your first shot, miss your first 2, 3. Now you can kind of talk yourself into a hole that, a lot of times is really hard to get yourself out of. So if you're conscious enough to understand why you're feeling a certain way, or that, what, I have no control over that last shot. I have no control over if it went in or if I made it or not. I only have control over this next moment. And in turn, that oftentimes helps you for the present, helps you for the future, which a lot of people are constantly thinking about. But a lot of times forget that the present moments with oftentimes, creates that future.
Well, Jace, it's been awesome watching you grow as a player and now as a person over these past 4 years here at the University of Texas. We appreciate you stopping by, and it's great to see you back on the court.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's been a long journey, but it's been great.